Two live streams in 2 days. How crazy is this, huh? I'm just going to adjust my microphone for a second here. Sorry, headphone users. I should have done that before broadcasting. This is a bit of a rush job, but I wasn't sure I'd have time today. But it looks like I do. So, yeah. Let's do some live streaming stuff. So today I want to take a slightly different approach. I don't know how much time I have to dedicate to this. It might be half an hour, an hour and a half. It's certainly not as long as I had yesterday. Yesterday I went for just over 2 hours. But basically what I was thinking the focus for today would be, and I see a couple people are watching, so thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk a little bit about the why, the how, and the what of YouTube. I'd be happy to go take a look at your channels and see if I can quickly determine those three things, because I think every channel needs to have those three things. See some people popping up in chat here. Spirixu Game and JDub the Gamer, one of our member tip contributors, so that's awesome. Let me just break out chat. And as per usual, I will go and share this in some select Facebook groups, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be doing with today's live stream. So as I'm doing this, just some basic stuff. Why am I here? I believe that YouTube should be more democratized than it is. I don't know if that's the right word. I think everyone deserves a fair shot on YouTube. I think that your talent, your ideas, and your hard work is what should determine whether or not you're a success on YouTube. Not whether or not you know the secret switch to throw to turn on your branding watermark, or how to build an end screen, or these little technical things. Because YouTube, like anything, as it has grown more complex. And, you know, there's an algorithm that manages it, and I understand the reasoning behind that. I don't think it's evil or anything, but it can sort of create a barrier to entry. It can be intimidating. And so, I mean, that part of it, I don't blame anyone for that part of it, but I do think that that's kind of unfair. So I've been making videos since 2001. I've been on YouTube since 2006, uploading to YouTube since 2008. For the last 2 years, I've been in a small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, which I am the administrator of. And so I've picked up, I like to think, a lot of the technical stuff. So hopefully I can demystify some of that at any opportunity that I can. But also, what I was thinking about today, rather than, because if I just try to do a whole bunch of channel reviews, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not sure that that's going to be the best use of my time. And I've done 26 live streams now. This is number 27 of channel reviews. And so I want to do something a little different today. And I want to talk about the how, the what, and the why of specific YouTube channels. I want to talk about your channels. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my speakers off. Yeah, there we go. Standard live stream rules apply. I'm not subscribing to anyone. I'm not watching any videos. Those rules are because I don't want people to spend all their time in chat trying to sell me on their channel, and I don't want to spend the entire live stream watching one video. That's the short version. So I think whether you are a YouTuber, whether you have a small business, you're an entrepreneur, whatever you've got going on, if there is a project that you're leading in your life, you know, a YouTube channel is a great example of this kind of thing, or small business entrepreneurship, whatever. I think that you need to have three components. And I'm not talking about titles and thumbnails and descriptions. We talk all day long about that kind of stuff. What I'm talking about, and before I get too deep into this, can you guys hear me all right? Is there any echo or anything? How's the audio? I've had issues before. Yesterday went well, but I just want to make sure my settings are still good. So if you could let me know in chat if you can hear me, I'd appreciate that. So I think that there are three main components to any endeavor that you're kind of the founder or leader of. You need to know why you're doing it. You need to know how you're doing it, and you need to know what you're doing. And as I've done channel reviews on this channel, I frequently find myself struggling to locate those things. It's relatively common that I can find what a channel is about. I can get a general sense of how they do it. But the one thing that I consistently have trouble finding, not always, but very often, is the why. I'm just not seeing any activity in chat here, so let me just quickly prompt here. Just want to make sure I'm not being plagued by technical difficulties. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. So, if you don't mind being, audio's perfect. Well, thank you. That's very nice. If you don't mind being sort of a guinea pig for this new thing I'm trying, Speak Through Game, would you mind if I took a look at your channel? And specifically, I'm thinking of looking at it through the lens of how quickly can I determine the what, the how, and the why of what you're doing. Would that be all right with you? If not, I can JW the Gamer. How about you? So it's a little different from my usual channel review. If I spot things, I'll mention things. But I've looked at many channels, and we've got some repeat people here that tune into these live streams often. So I just want to see about taking a slightly different approach. Maybe a little less technical, a little bit more philosophical today. But for example, my Vacation Impossible channel, my primary channel, the why of it is that I want to get people to travel more. How do I do that? I do that by, you know, filming as much interesting stuff and showing people how to do things more cheaply, things they haven't maybe thought of or knew were out there, or maybe they were intimidated by, so I can show them and raise their comfort level and awareness. And so that's the how. And so the what of it is I make YouTube videos. I make an audio podcast. I write a blog. And that's sort of the what of it. And those are the three different layers. So with Small YouTubers Boost, the why is what I was saying earlier. I believe that YouTube should be open to anyone who has the sufficient work ethic, creativity, or talent to do well. More than just... Oh, it's cutting in and out, kind of buffering. Well, that's not good. I don't know that there's much I can do about it. Let me check my stats here. Well, it's not reporting any dropped frames. Not a lot of... Weird. There might be, I don't know, there's some delay there. Let me know if it becomes problematic. So, yeah, let's start off here looking at our first channel. You know, and I was uploading the unboxing video, my second promo box unboxing video, and the upload did feel like it took a while. So maybe my internet is not as, you know, it's not interneting as well as I would like it to. So in that case, do bear with me. But I'm not entirely certain how to change these settings on the fly. Let me just take a look into my settings. Output. I could change my audio bit rate. I don't think it needs to be this high. Drop my audio down to 96. That's what I use for my podcast. Let's try that. So let me know if that causes any issues or anything. But I don't know that I want to drop my video quality much more than it already is, because some of the stuff gets kind of small. So, all right. So this is our objective. I want to figure out the why, the how, and the what of this channel. So I'm a Brazilian YouTuber who makes videos of video games that I enjoy. Videos every Tuesday and Friday. So, okay, it looks like the what of it is videos of video games. The how of it, to a degree, would be posting them every Tuesday and Friday. But why? Why? And if I were to use my usual channel review, I think YouTuber, everyone who has a channel on YouTube could be called a YouTuber, so I don't know that that word is helping you. And you make videos of video games. Are they long plays? Are they reviews? Are they comedic reviews? So you could put a little bit more in there. You could say like a Brazilian take on video games. And also, if you can niche down a little bit more than just video games, because gaming makes up a third of all of YouTube. So if you could say it's always PC games or RPG games or PS4 games or Switch games or modern, retro, if you can narrow it down at all, I would recommend doing so. That would probably be good for your channel. So 3 videos, 12 subscribers. Looks like a very new channel. Let's dive in. I'm going to pause this here. So it looks like some PS2 action. I like that. Ben 10 on the PS2 because it's 2019. I like that. That's funny. That's a cool name. I like that. It's engaging. Thumbnails are good. But of course, there's going to be a lot of repeat videos because you're fairly young and haven't created many videos there. So I'm going to go straight to the About page to try and see if I can get the sense. So that was the full description. So what I see here is that the why is missing. Now, the why isn't necessarily super critical early on, but I think having it somewhere in your description is a good idea. Ask yourself, and you might have to ask this a couple of times. You know, in business, they have something called the 5 whys, where they ask, you know, why is this happening? Why do you want this to change? Why is it happening? You know, things like that. And you just basically ask a version of why 5 times, sometimes to get to the core of what's really going on. And so you might need to ask yourself that in the mirror or whatever. It's like, well, why am I doing this? And some people, I'm not saying you, but I mean, it happens. I'm the administrator of a group of 64,500 small YouTubers on Facebook. If you're not a member, it's facebook.com/groups/small-YouTubers-boost. But I'm the admin there, and a lot of people say, well, I want to make money. And so that's not a why. That's a result. I'm kind of borrowing heavily from Simon Sinek's Golden Circle here, but I've been thinking a lot about this as it relates to YouTube specifically. And so if someone wants to make money because their family is in poverty and they think this is one of the ways that they can get themselves out of poverty, that's your why. The why is to get my family out of poverty. It's not to make money. The money is the how you accomplish that. And if you go and you tell someone, hey, you know, I want to make some money, they might not be emotionally invested. But if it's, hey, I'm trying to get my family out of poverty, we've had a couple homeless YouTubers in the group. And in fact, my first ever moderating of a Facebook group, I was invited by someone who in Spain was homeless, but he had a laptop, and through YouTube was able to create enough income to no longer be homeless. So he's an amazing success story. And so, I mean, and I think a lot of people, like when I hear that, I feel emotionally invested. I'm like, wow, that's an amazing story. You know, I want to see if I can help, and that kind of thing. So what is your why? So you mentioned that you enjoy certain video games and that's what you're covering. And so sharing your enjoyment can be part of the why. If you can unpack that a little, it's not a bad thing. You know, I saw that it was a PS2 game. So like, do you think that, you know, games are an art form that need to be preserved like anything else? Or do you think that games are a great way of getting dopamine by accomplishing things, and then you get that dopamine hit? You could think that games are amazing because they bring people together, or they have great stories, or they're the new form of storytelling, or they're more interactive than a movie. There can be tons of reasons why you like video games, and why because the thing is, YouTube is not easy, and especially someone who's relatively new to this. I see that you actually joined YouTube, wow, very recently. It looks like about a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. And so YouTube's hard work. You gotta want it bad, depending on what you want out of it. I mean, if it's just a hobby and you're having fun, that's cool. But even the hobbyists, even myself, when it was largely just a hobby, not getting a lot of views, not getting a lot of subscribers was kind of discouraging. Even though I was kind of doing it for myself, my friends, and my family, I still felt that. And so, you know, if you want to, you can live with it, and that's fine. If you're comfortable with it, no problem. But if that bothers you and you want to do something about it, then that's going to take effort. And the fact that you're here tells me that I think that you want to do that. So if you're going to put in the time, if you're going to put in the effort, I mean, even if you have an affinity for all of the processes of YouTube, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, well, why do you do all this stuff? It's like you're working 2 or 3 jobs. And I was like, yeah, depending on how you count, it could be considered that, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, depending on how carefully you slice the pie. And they were like, well, why do you do that? I'm like, well, I really, you know, it doesn't feel like work. And they're like, always? And I'm like, okay, like 95% of the time. There's 5% of the time where like I'm having to ban people from the Facebook group who are misbehaving, or they're sending me abusive messages, or I'm just editing something that's super tedious in an editing process. There's that 5% that feels like work. But what makes you get started? What makes you get up every day? What makes you sit your butt at the computer and say, okay, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to publish this. I'm going to share this. I'm going to go watch some idiot in Vancouver live stream, you know, talking out his rectum. You're investing time right now, and thank you for being here, and I hope this gives you value. But you got to ask yourself, like, I could be just playing more video games without recording it right now. I could be going for a walk. I could be, you know, binge watching YouTube or Netflix or some other thing. What makes you get off your butt and work on your YouTube channel? And I think when you understand that motivation and you can articulate it, that's going to be one more reason that people are going to want to subscribe to you. And the thing is, as small YouTubers, we don't have huge competitive advantages in a lot of the other categories. We don't have the best camera equipment. I mean, generally, some of you might, I don't know. But we generally don't have the best camera equipment. We don't have a built-in following like Jack Black. We have to, have to struggle at a lot of these things. We probably, most of us don't have formal training when it comes to videography, photography, acting, script writing. Or the technical side of things, editing, SEO. A lot of us don't have formal training. In some of those areas, formal training is problematic sometimes. So, what makes us special? What's our competitive advantage? What's our value-added proposition, whatever you want to call it? And that's where I think that if YouTube is truly democratized and it's all about talent and a vision and hard work and things like that, then a vision of it is an important part of that. So why do you put in the effort? What do you want to make different? What do you want to make better? And that's a thing that I think that should be in everyone's description on their channel somewhere. It doesn't have to be right at the beginning. You can get into the what and the how of it early on. I would put the what first, then the why, then the how, because like the how can be things like, oh, I publish videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I use an Elgato capture card and my face cam is a Canon Vixie or whatever. Like I think that the how of it can be a little less engaging for a broader audience. But the why, like there are channels who cover topics that I'm not that interested in, maybe makeup channels or something like that. But every now and then when someone posts it in the Facebook group, and I try to take 20 minutes out of every day and just sit and watch videos from the Facebook group. And when I do that, sometimes I'll watch, and I'll kind of pick and choose. I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch another gaming video, or I don't want to watch this, get ready with me video or whatever. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for it any particular day. Or like, oh, another video about how to get 100 subscribers. Maybe I don't want to watch that right now. So I'll kind of pick and choose, but every now and then I will click on something that's completely outside of my interests. I'll watch, like a makeup video or a try-on haul or something that's not a big deal for me. Maybe a natural hair channel, which obviously does not have much interest for me. But sometimes it's their personality that gets me in there, and sometimes it's the why of what they're doing. Maybe they seem to have like a real purpose behind it. Like, I was reading, somebody was posting something for a makeup channel the other day, and it was about like, what was it? It was like, everyone has imperfections, and you have to accept it you accept it and deal with that in your own way. And sometimes it's to cover things up, and sometimes it's to draw attention to it. And so they see makeup as a tool of self-expression and kind of controlling your own narrative. And like, I don't care about the brand of lipstick you're putting on, but that message is kind of interesting because I think it has a universal appeal. Everyone has things about themselves that they wish were better. I wish I weighed a little less and was a little, flatter tummy, and other little things too. Like, I wish, I had more choice on my hairstyles. And so like, choosing how to respond to that. Do I amplify something else? Do I conceal it? Do I just own it? Like, that kind of stuff is part of the human condition a lot of people can identify with, and then it can transcend more than just gaming or makeup or whatever. Just for fun, take a quick look here at your channel, give you a little bit of a channel review, but it's pretty young. So you've got some channel tags there, which is pretty good. One suggestion that I might consider adding is maybe PS2 games or something like that. Generally speaking, smaller channels, longer tail keywords work better. So looking at your subscriber situation, you've had a little bit of growth recently, and this is interesting. January 25th, you gained a couple, which is a bit of a spike. And then views, some interesting things here. So you had a spike on January 24th, 26th, 27th. So what I'm thinking is in like the last week or so, you probably put out a video or two. So let's take a look. And yeah, 2 videos. And so you put up 2 videos in that time frame out of 4 videos. So you doubled the views, I mean, not the views, the videos on your channel. And so you're seeing some growth as a direct result of that. And so I think that's good. I think at this stage, you're doing pretty well. You want to try and get more videos out, but don't rush them. And I see the previous 2 videos came 4 months ago. So functionally, you've been operating your channel for 4 months in that regard, and that's fine. Your design aesthetic for your logo and your banner, it's clean and plain, but doesn't convey a lot of information. So for the banner, I would consider adding a little bit more to it. Something with some color maybe, but that's a design choice. You got Instagram, you got Twitter, and you're on Twitch, so that's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to hop over to chat and see what people are talking about in chat on this kind of low-key, take it slow live stream. Find the 3 things you're looking for. Maybe a server issue. Yeah, YouTube's been having some issues. What's my overall bit rate? I don't know. I'm not sure if there is there an easy place to see that in OBS, in vanilla OBS. I don't know. How has it been since I lowered the audio quality? Has it been okay? Does it sound okay? Does it look all right? I love Road 2. This is so interesting. Cool. I have another channel which is just for fun. I want to put more effort into this channel. That's cool. I'm just going to adjust my... I keep slouching, so I'm just going to... There we go. Okay. The problem is you play a variety of games, and that's fine. But, you know, do you review the games? Is it Let's Plays? Is it, you know... Is it edited content? So it can be a variety of games, but what's consistent about what you do with it? Or is there no consistency? And if there isn't, then that's fine. You know, the less consistency and the broader your niche, the harder time you're going to have with the algorithm. But that doesn't mean you can't find success, but you are likely not to get as much traffic from recommended videos and search results through on YouTube itself. You might do a little better on Google. You might probably do better on social media platforms. If you're active in a gaming community on Reddit or a Facebook group or something, that's probably where you would grow more than relying on YouTube to kind of show your videos to people. And that's just kind of the choice of being a broader, more variety channel. That's just kind of the trick. So I've reviewed J-Dub once or twice before, and he contributed one of our member tip videos, so thank you for that. That was awesome. Got a lot of good feedback on that. And you guys can check it out when the live stream's over. Yeah, so let's see if we can find J-Dub's why, what, and how. I'm J-Dub the Gamer, and I make a series called Dub Derange, where I play the strangest games of all time. So that's a what, you know, is playing strange games. Maybe it's a bit of a how. Let's see here. Okay. I don't remember seeing the banner like this. I think you punched up the banner. I like this. This looks good. Of course, it's not a full channel review, but there's the social links at the top that are non-clickable, which that's like a personal thing for me. A lot of people do that, and it's fine. Videos and live streams. Okay, gamer. Let's check your about. I make funny discussion videos. It's a little. So the search results haven't updated from I make funny discussion videos, talk about weird games, and review indie games. Overall, I try to help you have fun in life. Okay, so there's a bit of a why there. You want people to have fun and be happy, and that's great. That is a wonderful thing to. It's a wonderful message. It's a wonderful goal. I think a lot of people can get behind that. Oh, you know what I just realized? Okay, I'm actually signed in right now under the Small YouTubers Boost account, so I don't have my full TubeBuddy functionality with me, but that's okay. You can see the free version and all the stuff the free version comes with. So if you don't have TubeBuddy, there's a link in the description below, and it's super useful for knowing more about your channel and other channels, your videos and other people's videos as well. It's super useful. And so right now I guess I'm doing the free version. So yeah, this is kind of cool. I think that you've make discussion videos. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the 3 things are there. I think this could be fleshed out more. I think a second paragraph could be added to put some more meat on the bones. I mean, what you've got here is pretty good. It'll work good in search results. But then, you know, a little further down, if somebody happens to wander onto your About page, you could talk a little bit more about sort of the why. You think that, you know, it's about fun in life. That's cool. Want to entertain people. Maybe you want to give people an escape from their daily lives. You want to share your joy of games, things like that. That can be, you know, that can be part of it. And then, of course, the more fleshed out your description is, I mean, that's something that the algorithm looks at. And so the terms and the words that you use in there can help your channel show up in search better, and it might also kind of help some of your videos perform. Let's see, how are people doing in chat? Okay, settings, then streaming. Let's give this a try. Settings. Stream, I guess. Nope, no stats there. Output. The content is consistent, the games are not. Cool. What makes the content consistent? Is it the timeliness with which it comes out, or is it something about the nature of the content that's consistent? I'm curious. So video bitrate is showing as 2500. Audio bitrate I've set to 96. It picks up where it leaves off. If the bitrate is too high, it can cause quality and buffering issues. Sample rate is 44.1. That's on audio. That's kilohertz. That's probably... Well, that's the lowest option, so that's fine. Video output is currently active. I have to cancel the video to change the settings, at least in terms of like frames per second and resolution. Okay. My about changed, but it hasn't updated in search. Yeah, it takes a little while. Anyways, hopefully the stream is palatable enough. I'm not doing anything else right now that involves the internet, other than like my phone is technically on Wi-Fi. But even my Google Home Mini, I've got the mic off, so it shouldn't be doing anything. Unless like Windows Update's doing something behind the scenes on my machine. No, it doesn't look like it. So I think we'll just soldier on. Let's take a look here. And also, if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. You know, if you do want a channel review, I can do that. Let's see. Ulrike and Brenda Canada, welcome back. Good to see you. Been here before. Let's take a look. If we can figure out why you do what you do, along with some of the other stuff. Right, I remember this. Yeah, the Germans, the bats. I remember this. Let's take a look at the About page. This is interesting. Right, this is ringing a bell. So your homepage on your channel is like your activities. So it's like subscribing to channels and liking videos and things. Actually, I think it's just subscribing to channels. So, I mean, I would recommend you populate your homepage with some of your videos, your content. That is important. It's kind of impressive that you got into 438 subscribers without having done that. Let's see here. Yeah, lots of different videos. Decent amount of playlists. Like the uploads, you could have uploads, you could have popular uploads. At the bare minimum. Don't fully... And travel, that could be another list. All on the homepage. And you could put Christmas up seasonally, but I wouldn't recommend leaving it up year-round. About page. Right, yeah, you guys are in Canada. I remember that now. If you speak German, please send an email. It makes her happy. Makes her happy, okay. Yeah, so like, are you trying to find German-speaking people in Canada? Because there's some people on my channel who speak German. I am not one of them. On the Vacation Impossible channel, is it sort of like an appreciation of German culture? Because the what, the why, and the how, I'm not seeing a lot of it here. You talk about like the different kinds of videos you make, so that's sort of the what. But yeah, kind of curious as to, again, why have you put in the effort? Actually, no, if I go back, not here. I think I need search results. You've made 42 videos, so that took effort. What made you want to put that effort in? Because at a glance, I'm not getting it. Let's see here. What else do we have going on in chat? Ms. London. Yes, I'm on time. Ms. London, do you have any questions? Tutorial? You can take a quick look at your channel. With my sort of light touch, let's look for the how, the what, and the why. Okay, I don't know why that didn't... Okay, there it goes. Is that the right... Just checking the... I wanted to think of something witty and funny. I've just been busy. And it's hard. You can't... Like, you could take the best comedian in the world. Whoever you think the best comedian is. You can take, you know, I don't know, Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle or whoever, John Mulaney, somebody. Just sit them down and be like, be funny. And the best hope that they would probably have, absent anything to work off of, would be just telling you a joke that they already had worked on, that wasn't something newly created in the moment. You can't force wit and charm and humor in that particular way. People need to work off of it. I did improv for 4 years, and so you get up there and you ask what's called for an ask for. You ask for something from the audience. You want an occupation, a non-geographical location, something like that. And then based on very little, you can build a story around it. And then hopefully use your sense of comic timing and narrative structure and other things to then build something out of it. But you can't do it out of nothing. That must be very hard to sit down and just like be funny. I don't think you could do it. I think one thing that I like on the TubeBuddy mobile app is there's the topic planner. And you know, it's the silliest thing. It's not a great feature, being completely honest. It's functionally Notepad, and it doesn't even work if you're not connected to the internet. But basically, and so I have. You know, I've got Word, I've got Google Docs, I've got a couple different things I could record text on my phone, no problem. And I have these ideas. I'm like, oh, that should be a video. That should be a podcast topic. Oh, I should do something on that for Small YouTubers Boost. And I'm like, I should write that down. And then I don't. But then along comes TubeBuddy, and I install the app, and it's got this topic planner. And now, for whatever reason, it could be a me thing. I'm actually using that more, and I'm recording it. And so now when I sit down and I'm like, okay, you know, recently went to Victoria on short notice. We did a podcast. I'm like, oh, I got to build some topics. And I went to the topic planner in the TubeBuddy mobile app, and I had recorded a bunch of stuff, and it was like, no problem. It got the juices flowing, the creative juices. So that's one thing is whatever tool it is that you need to capture your creative bursts when you can is a good idea. So anyways, Ms. London, let's see here. 35 subscribers, 33 videos. This channel contains sarcasm and explicit content. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to. So, I have no idea what the channel's about. I know a little bit about how you do what you do in the sense, just trying to find a safe place to put my water here, in the sense that it's using sarcasm and explicit content. But I don't know the what and I don't know the why. So let's dive in. It's an interesting picture. It's cropped in a weird way because the profile pictures are cropped as circles on YouTube now. They made that change a few years ago. But there's also like some square cropping that's happening. So it creates an interesting shape. I'm not sure how intentional that was or not, but it's interesting. It stands out. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Life with Ms. London. So looking at the banner, I see a game controller, and I see what I think would, if I could see the top of the banner, because it's truncating, it's cutting off the top, I think that would probably be like a heart rate monitor line, an ECG, EKG, something, in a heart. So if I were to guess based solely on the banner, I would think that you are a nurse or a doctor who enjoys playing games in your free time. That would be my guess. Let's see here. Just glancing at the channel. There's a lot of GTA 5. That's cool. Snap this Snapchat highlight. Okay. I don't get Snapchat. I don't know. But people keep telling me it's because I'm old. I think it's because Snapchat's not intuitive. I think Pokemon Go is more intuitive than Snapchat. But anyways, I could rant on that all day. You got popular uploads, and you've got it as a vertical display. I'd recommend going horizontal because vertical shows 4 videos. Horizontal shows 5. Let's see if you have some playlists here. So you got Assassin's Creed and GTA 5 are playlists with decent amounts of videos. So yeah, I would recommend taking your popular uploads, making it horizontal, and then adding Assassin's Creed and GTA 5 as playlists here on your homepage. You've got the popular channels module activated, excuse me, on the far right. And so there's also one where you can recommend specific channels. I recommend you activate that because the algorithm will love you for it. And it'll also show people both in the gaming and the YouTube community that you support other people. And I think that's a good thing. And it could also support your session watch time. So session, sorry, just a Tums. Session watch time is when people go from your channel or video and then watch a bunch of other stuff. You actually kind of get some credit for that in the algorithm. I'm just going to take a look at your About page while I have my Tums. Excuse me a moment. have channel rules. That's interesting. There's some interesting things going on in your description here. So, welcome to a wonderful world of me, full of games and simple life. So, sharing my journey and experiences, unfiltered, fresh, and raw. That's interesting. So, the why of it, is this a outlet for you to talk about things that are important to you, and kind of like it's you know, maybe almost a form of therapy? I don't know. I mean, I think some of my stuff probably is, either intentionally or otherwise. Is it that you want to create a record? Like I was trying to approve a post in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group earlier today, and the channel description was really kind of vague, but it was talking about how they had a new baby and they wanted to capture the life so that the kid, when older, could go back and look on it. So is it kind of like a video diary? Is it like capturing it for your own nostalgic purposes? Or do you have a purpose behind this greater than that? Are you trying to share wisdom, inspire ideas? What is your why as it relates to other people, as it relates to your audience, or what you could consider one day possibly your customers? And maybe that's not where you see that going. You don't want to think of them that way, and hey, I'm all for it. I worked for 14 years in an amusement park, and we never called the customers customers. We called them guests, which I really liked, because they came in for an immersive experience, and it was like going over to your friend's place for a nice dinner. And so, you know, you get, you know, maybe they play some music, maybe they put something on the TV, they tell you a story, they make you the food, you have a nice chat. You know, it's a lot more than the transactional. A customer buys a sweater at the Gap. That's transactional. And also the fun part that I used to mention, because I used to do customer service training out there for like 8 years. One of the things I said is that, you know, if you're over at a friend's for dinner and you don't like the food, you don't ask for a refund. So there's the business case for doing that. But anyways, just thinking about like the value add, and like, I mean, we are all, while we are creators, we are all also consumers of content. And so I think it's good to ask ourselves why we watch what we watch. What do we want to get out of it? People will watch your channel ultimately for themselves. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a theory in philosophy called, what is it? The reinterpretation of motivations, where you could trace everything back to a selfish motivation. And that seems kind of dark and bleak for some people, because I did a semester of philosophy in university, and I argued that it really kind of wasn't, because I sometimes focus really a lot on outcomes. So if we do wonderful things for our fellow human beings for selfish reasons, we still did wonderful things for our fellow human beings, regardless of how pure our motivations necessarily were. We still put good out into the universe. And if we did it just so that we could sleep better at night, so we could feel that we had, you know, adjusted the scales of justice, or we had helped someone and maybe one day they'll help us, or, you know, whatever, you've done good. And so, but what is, you know, the reason that you put the effort into this, and how does it relate to everyone else and their own selfish desires? Are they going to come here for a laugh? Are they going to come here for a new idea? Are they going to come here for support? Are they going to come here for someone to point and laugh at, or someone to commiserate with? Someone who talks about things that they are also concerned with, and maybe help put their problems into clearer words? I don't know. These are just a bunch of thoughts off the top of my head. And so things like that. Also, just as a tiny technical thing, at the bottom you say, no comments of a sexual, gameplay once a month live. I'm thinking there's a word there that's missing. Nature, I'm guessing. No comments of a sexual nature. Gameplay once a month live. I think these things are probably unrelated. There is a blank line between the two of them, but it just feels like an incomplete thought. The spacing is a little weird on these channel rules. The second and the last two have a space after the dash, but the others do not. I'd recommend going in there and formatting that a little bit more consistently, just for the OCD. I don't have OCD, I took a test, but for the people who have tendencies, let's say, they might like that, and I think it would just look more professional. And it's interesting, the thing that you open with, this channel contains sarcasm and explicit content, viewer discretion is advised. I would remove the asterisks, because that's eating up some of the characters that appear in the truncated search results. Viewer discretion is advised. It's cute. It's reminiscent of like Cops and those sorts of TV shows. Parental advisory notices on CDs back when CDs were a thing. I'm actually currently in the process of going through my CDs because I need to get a new computer, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't need an optical drive, so I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with just all of these things. That's a Pet Shop Boys album right there. For you vloggers out there, whenever you have a prop, you can use a prop or a visual aid, go for it. It makes it more visually interesting. So that was just a demo of that. But anyways. So yeah, getting back to this in terms of the why, I think I talked a lot about potential reasons. So anyways, the viewer discretion is advised thing. If you drop that out, more of your information will come earlier on, so that maybe in the search results you'll get gaming and vlogging channel, which would be somewhat helpful. And again, if you vlog on a specific topic, it would be good to mention that. If you game only in certain ways, it's only console games, it's only PC games, it's only Nintendo, only, you know, something else, retro, modern, whatever it is. Anything that you can niche down helps, because a third of all of YouTube is vlogs and a third of all YouTube is gaming. So you haven't distinguished yourself from those 2/3, really. And the channel rules is interesting. I think it's fine to have some ground rules for yourself. And how that goes in the comments. Have you been getting comments that violate these channel rules, I wonder? And, I mean, just talking philosophically about having rules for any community, we have the 4 rules in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, and I have, sometimes to my detriment probably, I think I've upset a lot of people with this, and it's not my intent, but I'm holding to just 4 rules. I don't want a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. I've been in groups that had like dozens of rules, and some that like had like 8 or 10, and the rules limited the conversation so much. And I already worry that some of our 4 rules limit the conversation too much sometimes. The number of times I would love to share a link with someone because it would totally solve their problem, and I know I can't right away because they didn't ask for links. I feel that frustration too, and so, if you can distill these rules of yours into fewer rules, but that are still clear and easy to understand, then it might be a little less intimidating. And also the about area, trying to have as much, you know, sort of positivity, give reasons for people to be there, don't give them reasons to leave as much as you can, I think is a good idea. It's interesting, I see that you're old school YouTube, much like myself. You joined in 2006, so that's pretty cool. And I think it was in like October of 2016. I only had 34 subscribers myself. And it was in November of 2016 that for whatever reason, I was like, you know what? I'm just tired of not being more of a success on YouTube. I'm going to do something about it. And that's when I started joining Facebook groups and educating myself about all this stuff. I'm going to take a look at what your oldest video is just because I'm curious. Curious about 5 years. Okay. That's cool. All right, let's take a look at Channelytics. This is a tool that's free with the TubeBuddy browser plugin. Link in the description. So this is interesting. I'm seeing your channel tags include things like LGBT, which that's the first sign I had that is something your channel is about. That could be how you identify, but is it something that's part of your channel? I don't know. Do we separate our own identity from our channels? I don't know either. But in terms of search, I don't know. I mean, at the same time. You know, one of the tags is lesbian, so like a lesbian gamer, that's niching down a bit. You know, that's not a third of all of YouTube. It's niched down more than that, so that could be unique, or I mean, not fully unique. It's not that uncommon, but you know, a more unique than just gamer way of sort of identifying yourself. This is interesting. I'm not seeing the social links, but I know you have them, so that's just probably this glitchy, being a little glitchy. Got some subscribers a couple weeks ago. Looks like there was a bit of a view burst right around January 9th and 10th. It looks like when things were happening for you, I think. Yeah, 9th and 10th. So who wants to bet there's videos that came out then? There's a video that came out then. Okay, on January 9th. So more videos of that content might drive more views and subscribers. It's just something to be conscious of. But you notice how publishing a video makes a huge difference. There's nothing you can do that helps your channel more than producing a new video. Let's see what's happening in chat. Have I upset people yet? I do that sometimes, unintentionally. I think you do a great job, Ray. Thank you. I appreciate that. Create, not hate. I like that. Nice hashtag. I like that. In fact, one thing that that Ms. London was talking about in her description that I want to talk a little bit about, and I have before, but whatever, it's my show, is the idea of criticism. When is it constructive? When is it destructive? Destructive criticism is like, you suck at Photoshop. Constructive is, hey, maybe it would be nice if there was a splash of color in this banner. Like I said earlier, I try to make that constructive. And I don't think that person sucked at Photoshop or anything. I don't want to connect those two thoughts. Those were just random examples that flittered into my mind. But constructive feedback is specific and actionable. You suck is not constructive, feedback. You suck at art. Okay, that's slightly more specific, but it's not giving you anywhere to go. But if it's something like, and I say this a lot, like I said, I try to take 20 minutes every day and just watch random videos in the Facebook group. And one of the issues I discover a lot is audio levels can be all over the place. And hey, my channel, Vacation Impossible, commits that sin as much as anyone does. We record with GoPros on location in windy conditions. We don't have the best equipment and we don't control our environment. And it's all gonzo. It's all live. It's guerrilla style, whatever you want to call it. And so sometimes it's hard to get quality audio. And I try to adjust it in editing, but mixed results sometimes. But like what I see all the time, not all the time, but I see it a lot, is like people will start off by having a little clip from their video that might look a little funny, like a teaser, kind of smart. I don't do it, but it's smart. Then they cut to a graphic like logo thing where like their name is bouncing at the camera and there's like EDM techno music playing or something. And then it cuts to them kind of saying, hey, welcome to my channel, whatever. Or welcome back. In today's vlog I'm talking about. Stuff like that's pretty common. But the thing is that the music, the EDM music that plays during the title sequence is like 6 to 12 decibels above the whole rest of the video, sometimes like 20. And so it's jarringly loud. And I could understand you do that at the end for your end card, maybe, to wake people up, because I watch on my tablet, I watch a little YouTube lying in bed, and I'll... End card. Oh, okay, loud music. Like, a lot of the talk shows do that, I find. Particularly the talk shows out of the UK, their end card music is really loud. But doing it at the beginning, it's just jarring. It's like, oh, I gotta turn the volume down. Oh, God, now I turn it up. And it feels kind of amateur. And I'm not saying you're doing this at all. But when I say, hey, your audio level's seeming consistent, that, I hope, is an example of constructive criticism. It's specific. I'm talking about how loud your video is. And I think it's actionable. It's inconsistent. So if you, when you're editing, look at your audio levels and try to make sure that they don't vary more than plus or minus 6 decibels, is what I recommend personally, then you won't kill your headphone users and people won't be playing the audio and it'll be more professional. And it's one of those things that's really off-putting for people from what I've heard. So that's an example of constructive criticism. I got some criticism on my logo, and hey, my logo's not perfect, for Vacation Impossible. And honestly, I think that's probably better than my small YouTubers Boost logo at this point. I don't even know. But they said, oh, your color sucks. It's like, okay, what color should it be? And like a lot of people in the group were coming along to tell me that my color sucked. Okay, fair enough. Not a single person suggested an alternative color. So like the Vacation Impossible logo is largely kind of like gold and black, a hint of white. Like that's kind of it. The only real color is gold. Because it was meant to kind of look like a coin. I don't know what I was thinking. It was 2015. I just had an idea. It was back when my channel was more hobby than more serious endeavor. And we have a somewhat new version we're kind of transitioning to. But it was like, no earthly idea what color you want. Blue, red, purple, yellow? I don't know. All the colors? And I even followed up and I asked, like, what color do you think would work better? And I couldn't get a single answer. So I would have to describe that as destructive. It only made me feel bad about the color I chose. It didn't give me anywhere specific to go. So, constructive versus destructive. I like that, Miss London. Hit the like button if you're learning something from this live stream. Please do. That's awesome. I like that. That's one thing that I think when we ask for likes, which is a good... I mean, I know I should do it more. I have trouble shilling that way for whatever reason, partly because I obviously am looking at it as shilling and not just being sincere. But the thing that I tell myself to make it more sincere and also to try and present it in a way that is good to the audience is the like isn't to make me feel good. It's never that. It's not that I need my dopamine. You know, I accomplished a like. Yeah, baby. I mean, that happens. But the primary reason for it is because the more likes, the more likely that someone else will find the video because of that interaction. And so that's the few times I've tried to ask for that in a video on either channel, is I try to explain it that way. If you liked the video, hit like so that other people can discover it as well, and maybe they'll get something similar out of it that you did. I've got one of my most popular videos on Vacation Impossible. It's how to dress for Alaska. And so if people click like on that, when someone searches how to dress for Alaska, it's more likely my video will come up because that's one of the many things the algorithm looks at. Okay, let's see here. PTR Gaming, welcome. Good to see you. PTR Gaming. Oh, right, because you have PTR Racing, so this is probably the gaming channel. Let's go take a peek. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm trying to discuss what Simon Sinek calls the golden circle. So a lot of organizations can tell you what they do. You know, they make computers, they make videos, whatever. A lot of organizations, less, but still a lot, can tell you how they do it. You know, we use Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 to edit our videos, and we shoot in 1080p 60. We render in 1080p 30, and you know, there's that how piece. A lot of people know that, but why? Why are you doing these things? A lot of people have trouble articulating that. And so what I'm doing today is I'm trying to glance at some channels, and I'm trying to see if I can identify those three things. What are they doing? How are they doing it? And why? I think is a big piece. Well, the why doesn't have to come first, but I think it needs to be in there somewhere because there's a lot of people who I think identify on an emotional level with the why. So, PTR Gaming. I know that this person also runs a lot of other very successful channels, so it's no surprise that I'm already seeing some professional stuff here. For example, oh, that's interesting. Is that you there in that thumbnail? Cool. So one thing I'm noticing here is there's consistency in the thumbnails of the things that happen in-game. Is that? Yeah, Forza, in-game. They have an outline around the thumbnail. And so that's a really good thing. So PTR Gaming does this really well. Toby Creation, a travel channel in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, does this very well with his light blue. And so that very clearly stands out as a brand. And as with the consistent look. But it's also like there's the one that's obviously shot live, not in a game, that doesn't have the banner, but that's good because it's probably done consistently, and it shows that this is a little different from the others. And so that's one of the things I do on my Vacation Impossible channel. We have tip videos, which I'm trying to build sort of a gold, keeping on the color theme. That's apparently not great, but it's what I got. I try to build an outline around the thumbnails that are part of the short tip video sequence. So those are quick little snippets that just get you straight to the tip, and that's it. No backstory, no pretty pictures. Just like, here's how you. I think one of them is, what is it? It's how to prevent a bear attack if you forgot your bear bell. It's like, boom, here's what you do. Go ahead. That's it. That's the tip. You know, how to dress for formal night on a cruise. Here's the dress code. Catch you later. That kind of stuff. So PTR Gaming is a gaming channel dedicated... Oh, sorry. PTR Gaming is a gaming dedicated channel to mostly racing and shooting games. Current games of choice, Forza Horizon 4. So there's some redundancy here in that gaming appears twice. And channel isn't super useful. So if you removed one gaming and the word channel, you could probably get a second game title in there before the cutoff of truncation. So it could be PTR Gaming is dedicated to mostly racing and shooting games. Current games of choice. You could even just say current games. And then Forza Horizon 4, and then, you know, whatever else you might be playing, Halo 5 presumably, for example. And then that would just get it in there to be a little less redundant. SEO doesn't like repetition within the same thing. So if your channel name, if your video title, video description, and video tags, if a word appears in all of those, then that's great. That's what I call keyword alignment, and the algorithm loves it. That can really boost you. But if your keyword appears multiple times in the title or multiple times in the description, you get no benefit to that. So it's kind of wasted space, in my humble opinion. So I know the what pretty good. Just looking at this. I like the consistent kind of thumbnail look here. So you got uploads and Forza Horizon 4 gameplay. And that's interesting. Okay. What many videos you got here? Let's see. Look at the consistency of these thumbnails, guys. Like, take note. It's pretty solid. So for the homepage, I would also consider adding a popular uploads. And if you end up having enough like Halo 5 or other things, then a playlist for another game is not a bad idea. Chanalytics, free function with the TubeBuddy browser plugin. So peak time gaming is some of the channel tags. There's good opportunity here. I mean, this channel is kicking butt, but it could kick more butt. So what I would go in is edit the channel tags to add peak time gaming as its own thing. And also, I mean, Forza Horizon 4 as a tag. Forza Horizon 4 gameplay as its own tag. These, and again, the longer tail keywords is more of an advantage for the smaller channels. So yeah, I think that the channel tags could be really beefed up here. I think there's some good opportunity there. It had some amazing subscriber growth, sort of around the end of the year, beginning of the year. I've never seen growth like that on my channel, so a little jealous, but that's okay. Hopefully we can all learn from each other. And so you had a lot of views early on in this time frame, so towards the end of December. And it's interesting because the big burst that I'm seeing in subscribers and views don't correspond to video uploads necessarily, because there's some video uploads here, but there's some video uploads here, but there's not a similar spike around the 29th of December. Why is that happening? So my guess is one of two things. One, this could be tied to a tentpole event. Not that you were necessarily targeting a tentpole event, but it could just be kids being out of school, and so maybe you got a lot of subscribers out of that, or people being off work over the holidays and the New Year and stuff like that. Not everyone wants to go out and party, or it could be that you were doing some social media effort. Maybe you were running a Facebook ad campaign. Or something else, or maybe you were just posting in groups, or you were interacting, maybe you were commenting on other channels' videos in a similar niche, or whatever. So if you're looking to grow this particular channel, I would consider what you were doing towards the end and the beginning of the year to see if it's something that's scalable or replicatable, because that was some pretty amazing growth there by my humble standard of comparison. Oh my, this is a bulky description, which, I mean, respect, because this is great at there's a lot of searchable terms in here. Oh, interesting. Here's another one where there is community and live stream chat rules. Maybe I should consider putting some rules in the description of Small YouTubers Boost. I always start off the live stream by talking about my 2 rules. Maybe I should add that. I don't know. Sharing of personal info is not allowed. I like that. That's good. I'm all about protecting privacy. We're a group of live stream gamers moderators, that's interesting, that enjoy making gaming videos together. We strive to help and support each other to success on YouTube / game streaming. And then there's the elite crew members seeking new members. That's kind of cool. So what I see here is your what and your how you've got nailed. What are you doing? You're playing Forza 4 and Halo 5. How are you doing it? You're doing it on an Xbox One X with these Elgato hookups and a Canon and the Blue Yeti, and that is the how. You got how. You also got like the who, which is a nice bonus. But the why. It's interesting. One thing you mentioned is here, gamers / moderators. Moderation of what? I'm curious. Do you moderate Facebook groups, message boards? Is it the message board for the developer? I did that for Bethesda for several years. What do you moderate? Are you moderators of like an in-game, and I don't have an Xbox, I've never played an Xbox. Maybe there's like moderation status in in-game chat or something. I don't know. What do you moderate? It's not clear to me here, and I'm curious. You could mention it somewhere. But why do you do it? It says that you enjoy making gaming videos together. You strive to help and support each other, which is great for your collaboration partners. But what about your audience? And you have a substantial audience. You know, you got 250,000 views on this channel, nearly 5K subscribers. Once you hit around 5K subscribers, from my experience, especially in the gaming niche, that's where things start really happening. I met a guy called Rule of Two Review at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, I think it was. We were in line waiting to meet James Rolfe of Cinemassacre. I'm a fan, if you couldn't tell. And anyways, and he was just about to hit 5,000 subscribers. And there was a deal that when he hit 5,000, Nintendo had actually contacted him and said, if you hit 5,000, we'll fly you out to try the Switch before it launched. So that seemed to be a magic number for Nintendo, anyways, at least with that one guy. He was a super nice guy, super nice guy. Really supportive, too. I was talking to him about some of my challenges as being a small YouTuber. He went and subscribed, and he followed me on Twitter. He retweeted me a couple of times, commented on some of my videos. I, of course, checked out his channel as well, watched some videos, commented, engaged with him on Twitter. Super, super nice, supportive guy. I had, I don't even think I had 100 subscribers then. So that was, that was probably 2015, 2016, maybe? Yeah, that's probably, October 2016, I think, is probably when that was. So, I think, it was my second Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Anyways, super nice guy, super nice guy. And so, I remember his name, and I mentioned him here. I mean, he doesn't need a shout-out from my tiny butt, but at the same time, that's the thing about supporting other creators and other people, is you never know how that's going to come back. And so, whatever your motivation, maybe you think that, okay, I'm investing in being a nice person, or maybe you just feel good by being nice to other people, whatever that is. If that comes from putting good out into the world, then it'll pay back in a lot of different ways. I have a kilobytes per second reading here. That's hovering around 2,700, if that's relevant to my stream. I don't know if that's what people were asking about earlier. Still allegedly no dropped frames, though, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, so a little bit of the why as it relates to your audience might not be a bad idea. Here, and I'm speculating. I have no earthly idea. I don't know much about you, but maybe it could be something like, maybe there's a lot of hostility in these gaming communities. I heard that there can be, where people are sort of abusive over voice chat and things like that. And so maybe you're trying to show that there is a nice, collaborative, friendly, supportive way to play with others. Maybe. I don't know. But that might be a message that could resonate with an audience and give them value. Let's go see what's happening in chat. Outputting at 720. No, I'm pretty sure I'm outputting at 1080. Let me just quickly double check that. Video. Base canvas resolution is, 1080. Output scaled resolution is 720. For whatever that means. People are also helping me demystify the technology behind some YouTube things. Live streaming is still fairly new to me, even it's like the 26th, 27th time doing this. I focus more on the YouTube side. Been on YouTube in 2012. 2 channels that got terminated. Man, what happened? What is this question here? How do you activate the popular channels thing in the homepage? You just go to your homepage and click edit. I can kind of demo it here, I think. Let me... I can kind of demo it. So go to homepage and click customize channel. And you notice here I have the mod team. So those are just, I need to add our newest mod actually there. But this is just the channels of all the moderators of the Facebook group. So you see here that there's this pencil icon, which would allow me to edit this. And so down here in popular channels, that's just an enable disable function, but that's basically how you do that in terms of those 2 boxes. Have both of them enabled. I would demonstrate how to add it from nothing, but in my experience, shutting that off even for an instant causes huge headaches in the algorithm, so I'm not touching it. I say put it on, leave it on forever. You can edit the contents all you like, but never turn it off. I had my Six Flags video where I got kicked off some rides on Six Flags for having a GoPro. Long story, people hate me for the video. I'm not perfect in it, but I think the park was worse. I think they escalated things. But putting that aside, it was getting a lot of views from recommended. And then I accidentally, and it was like the only thing I changed, I accidentally turned off the popular channels or related channels widget. And then recommended hit the floor. And the whole video just grind to a halt. And so I don't know that it'll ever hit 9,000 views because it happened after it was at like 8,000. And it just, yeah. So I think it's important to have it activated. Oh, look, we got like 10 people watching. That's cool. Let's see what else is going on in chat. Yeah, it's not about subs. You should be able to do that right away. I mean, it's about subs in the sense it might help you. What do we got here? Why do live streams always have buffering? What year is this? What year is this? Yeah, maybe YouTube's drunk. Let's see. Oh, somebody's talking about a Patreon. Yeah, I'm looking at creating a Patreon for Small YouTubers Boost. I always said that I wouldn't create merch or a Patreon until my audience asked. And then a couple of people within like a couple of days actually all came forward, maybe coordinated, maybe apropos of nothing, I don't know, both asking for T-shirts and a Patreon. So I have created a T-shirt, and so what I did is I looked at a couple different places. But Teespring is the one that at 30,000 subscribers you can integrate. I think it's 30,000. You can integrate into your YouTube channel. So I just went with Teespring. I had also looked at another one that Roberto Blake recommended, but I ultimately just decided to go with Teespring because of, you know, maybe if I ever hit 30,000, then I can just turn on that integration and it'll be there. But yeah, so I just kind of threw together this T-shirt design. I have a little regret because I put the full URL, and somebody in the Facebook group quite rightly pointed out it would be better without the Facebook or the YouTube.com part. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I'm actually going to try and figure out at some point, maybe I can copy the design and edit it. So one will have the URL and one will just say Vacation Impossible. And it's funny, 2 people contacted me about the T-shirt, and then nobody ordered them when I made them available. But whatever, that's fine. It's out there. People asked for it. I did it. I was a man of my word. And maybe we'll see about designing, you know, better or other alternative T-shirt designs in the future. But that wasn't too hard to do. I was able to do that on my Surface 3, lying in bed with the keyboard. I was able to do this. Now the face icon there is something that I got from TalentZ. So TalentZ is $7.99 a month, and it includes unlimited graphic services. There's an affiliate link down below if you want to sign up and give them a try. But they designed that for me, and so I just took the PNG and then put that in. The ship was part of the clip art that you're able to use on Teespring, and then the rest is just text with the Beebus font, I believe. So that was my T-shirt experience. For Patreon, I went and initiated the process for setting it up, but I didn't realize, and so this is a note to you people considering Patreon, is you need to have a video before you can activate your Patreon, where you can, you know, collect money or whatever. So I need to film a kind of like a pitch video, almost like Kickstarter, and I think I also need to film. I don't know if I need to, but I want to also film like a thank you video for it. And so I went looking into it. I looked into how people like Pat Contry do it, and those videos they just host as unlisted videos on their channel. So I think I'll probably do that too. Hopefully that won't hurt me in the algorithm having something that's not viewed. But I'm thinking because it's unlisted and not published, I don't think the algorithm will pay attention to it. So I don't think it'll hurt me there. I don't think it'll help either, but it's all about supporting the Patreon at that point. And so I was thinking about ways that I can do things on Patreon because, you know, a couple of people contacted. They said, hey, I'd love to support you for like $1 a month on Patreon if you could just create something. So I'm like, hey, I'm happy to do what my audience wants. But I want to add value to that as well. But I'm also so maxed out. I mean, I found myself with like an hour, maybe an hour and a half today. So I'm going live. And so finding time to create additional content is hard. I think on my next vacation, my next cruise is when I'll maybe do the pitch video, so it'll be on location. I got some new microphones for Christmas, and I'm going to try using that for, and then also do a thank you video. If we film that on a cruise ship, I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah. But I'm also thinking about what are the different tiers. So one of the things I was thinking is like at the $1 tier, I might have a discount on this T-shirt. So it's like Patreon support for $1 and save, I don't know, X dollars, more than $1 on the T-shirt, and that would be a really good deal. And I was thinking about, I record podcasts and I capture it on video as well, but on my channel, Vacation Possible, I only ever put little snippets on specific topics, never the whole thing, and not all the topics we cover. So I was thinking I could take a full-length video version of the podcast and make that available at like the $2, $3, $4 level or something. That's just my thinking for now, just since we were kind of talking about Patreon and chat there. $10 Patreon once. That's cool. I'm stubborn and ain't gonna monetize. I can relate. I didn't want to monetize for the longest time myself. I've been on YouTube, like I said, a member, an account holder, whatever you want to call it, since 2006, and I started uploading my backlog of videos that I had in 2008, and I had this video of concert footage of James Darren that blew up to a degree, for me anyways. It's still my most watched video of all time. And so it's bootleg concert footage. I don't necessarily understand the full rights situation there. And so I was contacted years ago when you couldn't get monetized on YouTube unless you were specifically invited. And I got specifically invited repeatedly because of the success of that video. And I constantly just ignored it because I was concerned about the copyright concerns. I didn't want to get my butt sued. And in retrospect, I kind of wish that I had gone into it sooner because I think that the algorithm really appreciates people who use all the functions. YouTube has recently, like within the last year and change, I think it was December of 2017, December 2017, they did come out and for the first time explicitly said whether your video is monetized or not does not affect it in the algorithm. But they could change that in an instant if they so chose. The algorithm could change it and they might not even know. It's self-teaching as a machine learning algorithm. But I wish I had kind of done that, if only so that I could have learned about it back then. And the fact that it was like it was kind of an honor to be invited, but I felt like a fraud because of the footage that they were keen on monetizing. But back then you needed 8,000 views on a single video to get invited. That was the threshold. But then eventually I broke down and monetized, what was it, a year and a half ago or something? 2 years ago now, maybe. And it was partly because YouTube hadn't said how monetization affects the algorithm, so I was doing some experiments. And so what I did is I took 25% of my videos and I monetized those. And then I was trying to see how those performed versus other similar videos to see if monetization seemed to be a factor. And from my, little tiny experiment, it didn't seem to be a factor. But it was funny, after they took my monetization away and I got angry, and I'm like, I earned this, I want it back, even though I never wanted it in the first place. It's the fear of loss. There have been a lot of like neuroscience studies. There's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow that's like this thick academic text, but it talks about this, where people's fear of loss is so much greater than the potential gain. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that someone says, you've got a 50-50 shot if you play, I don't know, a roulette wheel or something, of losing $10. No one's going to do it, right? If you've got a roulette wheel where you've got a 50-50 shot of winning $10, you're going to go do it in far greater percentages. But if you look at the transaction, either way, you could be plus or minus $10 as a result of that transaction. But there's the potential $10 you don't have now versus losing the $10 you have now. And we feel so completely different about those two things. And even though I understand this intellectually, it doesn't change my feelings. I should be smarter than that, maybe, I don't know. But they took away my monetization, and it was due to nothing I had done, and it pissed me off. So I started this, like, what ended up being like a 9, 10-month, 11-month journey to get my monetization back. And so by the time it came back, I'm like, frankly, I'm so proud of it, I want to go monetize everything. It's almost like, and I wonder if you guys think this, if you stumble across a channel and there is an ad, after everything we've been through over the last year as small creators, do you feel like that gives them an air of, like, legitimacy? I don't know. I wonder about this. I'm not even sure how I feel about it. But part of me is like, oh, well, they're monetized. So because you can generally see a subscriber count, but they might hide it. But you can't see their watch time. And so if I go to a channel that's kind of smaller and I see an ad crop up, sometimes I have that reaction where I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, I doff my cap to you. You've accomplished this thing that I know is incredibly hard. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious how you guys feel about that. Oh, they moderate the live streams. Right. They do a lot of work. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. I've I've added moderator status for these live stream chats to Achilles Melee, a friend of mine, and I think Nicholas from the mod team in the Facebook group. I haven't really had these aren't contentious enough or popular enough that that's been an issue. Are you on the million channels moderating their streams? Like, I don't get it. You met James at a party at a convention. That's cool. James is so nice. He's awesome. We get a lot of spam in the live chat. Everybody go and check out my channel, I'm guessing. I don't know. Your dropped frames are what OBS itself drops, so I think the issue is with the YouTube server, assuming it's not your internet. Yeah, that sounds likely to me as well. A lot of competition and jealous people. Yeah, and that's sad, and I think that means we need to work just all that much harder to put positivity out there. Maybe it's me being Pollyanna or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I feel good when I do that. That's my selfish motivation. I'm putting out some positivity. I feel good about that. Like, I realized I had the opportunity maybe to go live today, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Hey, DJ Talks, welcome back. And I was like, hey, man, I got a chance to go live today. That's cool. What am I going to talk about? I want to do something different. Like, it's exciting. I enjoy it, and that's my selfish reason. You should leave your scale and output the same. Okay, I can't do it now because I'm broadcasting, but I'll try to remember to change it when the feed is done. You're very fit on the creator is not hate, though. They have a lot in common in the woods. Oh, is that like a movement? Create, not hate? That's kind of cool. I like that. Just running some sand, trying to find gold. I don't know what that means. Hey, everyone, I'm a member of the Facebook group. Awesome, Dizzy. Oh, yeah, I think... There was someone yesterday named Dizzy, but I think it was a different Dizzy. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff about YouTube. One thing that I'll say about YouTube is it's never boring. Never, ever boring. Let's see. I'm just going to go back on chat, see who else. Smiling Sammy. Hello from Scotland. Hey, did you see James McAvoy on Saturday Night Live? I'd love a review. Sure, let's do it. Let's do a review. Stop plugging my t-shirt here that nobody's gonna buy. And it's funny also, when you go into Teespring, they recommend a price for you, and what I did is I set the price a couple dollars below the recommended, trying to be a nice guy, but you know, not enough to get anyone to buy, but that's fine. I'm not in it for money necessarily, but I'm not gonna say no to money either. I think for me, money is a tool. It's a tool to other things. Money allows me to give to charity. Money allows me to buy things for my family, myself. It allows me to invest in my channel and do other things. If I were to somehow monetize my online endeavors enough that I could do this full time, if I could do a live stream for like, I don't know, at least an hour every day as part of like if that was my life, if that was my work day, that would be kind of cool. It'd be like, upload a video on my travel channel, do like an hour of live streaming, write a blog post, and then work on planning my next travel or going to a convention. Like, that would be an amazing life. That would be awesome. I joked at my day job with people that like my semi-retirement plan, if I could ever do it, would be if I could do like motivational speaking. I would absolutely love that. That would be really cool. So, and the thing is that you need money to enable those things. And so, as much as I don't like the idea of how like money can kind of change things, like when the Facebook group got sponsored by TubeBuddy, almost every time I said something nice about TubeBuddy, people were like, "Oh, you're just doing it because you have to." I legit don't. My deal with TubeBuddy, I can't talk about all the details, but I can tell you what their requirements for me are low. I have to have their image in the banner of the group, and I have to post about it twice a month. That's it. These tutorial videos I'm doing, not part of the deal. That is just because, you know what? I see the value. It's helped me so much. I get questions from people all the time. Oops, sorry. I get questions from people all the time that are solved by TubeBuddy. And it's just so much easier. And so I was like, you know what? I'm constantly having to type out how to do this. If I could just have a tutorial video, that would be so much easier. Of course, the problem is I'm a victim of my own rules in the Facebook group. I can't just go and drop that video on people without permission. So I'm constantly saying, check the announcements, because I can't link drop. But that's one of the easiest ways that I can help people, especially these people who come into the group and give you nothing to go on. Hey, I'm really struggling with views and subscribers. Can you help me? Well, I don't know what your niche is. I don't know the name of your channel. I don't know anything about you. But actually, I kind of can if you haven't already discovered TubeBuddy. And sometimes people give me flack for that. They're like, oh, it's an affiliate link. Yes, it's an affiliate link down below. That is part of the deal. It's part of the tracking. you know, just so they know, you know, how much traffic it's getting. That's whatever. And yeah, so that's there, but it bothers me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this video is not sponsored. It bothers me a little bit where people think that I'm lying, which is totally untrue, because if I just wanted to make money off of you guys, oh, things would be so different. They really would. I've been approached now by, I think, 8 or 9 companies was my last count, of people that wanted me to endorse their product, create tutorial videos, or, you know, have sponsorship in the group, or have me recommend their Kickstarter or some other bloody thing. And every time someone approaches me with that, I look at it seriously. But part of the deal is I got to try it first. Honestly, you guys who might be approached for sponsorship deals, I'm not going to pay to try a product, because that's just a sale. That's not actually, you know, us working together in my mind. So if they offer me to test the product out beforehand, then okay. But it has to be good. It has to be fully functional. It has to provide value, and I'm going to tell the truth about it. So like TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy's not perfect. Like, you see, when I go into Channelytics, I have to toggle 2 things to get it to display properly. Sometimes the social links don't appear. It's not perfect. I'm going to be honest about that. And so, for example, there was this company that was creating what was supposed to be the TubeBuddy of Instagram. They were like, hey, can you know, and they were going to pay me $20. Okay. And even that I had to negotiate them up to, which was funny. But they started off negotiating, and I'm like, well, it depends on me trying the product for free and the product being good. And they're like, okay, but let's talk dollars first. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And so, like, I didn't care. It's not about the money. It really isn't. It's about finding stuff that gives good value to you guys. So that's part of why the deal with TubeBuddy gets you a discount code if you check the announcement on the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group. So anyways, I'm checking this thing out, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. They had to give me, like, the email of their design team. I'm contacting the developer. I'm like, I can't even log into your service. I could have taken the $20 and ran. I could have taken the $20, posted about it, washed my hands of it, and said, screw it. But that's not what I want to do with my life. That's not why I'm here. And there have been a lot. So far, of all the various things that have contacted me about that, TubeBuddy's been really good, and Talentzy's not bad. But again, I'm going to tell you the truth. That cartoon version of my face took 10 days. But another time, I requested a thumbnail, and I got it like in 24 hours. Just telling you the truth. That's what I'm here for. Because, frankly, I don't have the time or energy to lie, and, frankly, the money's not good enough for me to lie. So, anyways, enough about the diversion about sponsorships and things. But, I mean, these could be issues as you grow that you might end up facing yourself. So, let's take a look at Smilin' Sammy. So, I like the picture. It's interesting. So, yeah, in chat, there wasn't a lot. It scaled down so small, I couldn't see a lot of detail. Like, I could see that part of your face and the smile and stuff, and that's nice. FBI negotiators, they smile at the people, like the terrorists they're negotiating with. They smile at them when they first meet. You expect them to go in all hard and gruff and being like, you know, break balls. And no, what they do is they smile because there's, what is it, a mirror neuron in the prefrontal cortex? I'm not sure. I'm not really strong on the biology side of things. I'm more of a physics guy. But anyways, when someone smiles at you, there is an actual mirror neuron that causes you to have a similar reaction. You might fight it. It might be subtle. It might be small. It could be huge, but it makes you smile a little bit more. When you smile, when you're happy, the biochemical change in your brain actually makes you smarter. When you are in a good mood, you are 31% smarter and faster a thinker than when you're in a bad mood. And so FBI negotiators go into a hostage situation, HRT, whatever, they're going to smile to make the other side smarter. Because then, hopefully, oops, I got to stop hitting the microphone. Sorry, headphone users. I got to stop talking with my hands so much. But the idea is that hopefully they'll work collaboratively to solve the problem. So, they want their adversary to be smarter. And, like, the lives are at stake, and they want their adversary to... That's kind of cool if you think about it. And those people who come into the group, and they say YouTube is a zero-sum game. It's like, oh, if you get a subscriber, that's one subscriber I don't get, which is not how things work at all in my mind. It's like, hostage negotiators aren't even that, like, realpolitik or whatever, you know, that zero-sum game. They're not. They want to make their competition smarter, so they're working with smarter people to resolve the problem. Like, you know... So, really, I mean, supporting fellow creators is only good. And you know what? My primary channel is Vacation Impossible. And maybe Toby Creation or some other travel channel out there is going to see something that I did or something I'm talking about in this live stream. I might do a channel review for a travel channel, and I might help them in a way that gets them views that might have otherwise gone to me. Maybe. Oh well. It's not like there's a dearth of views. We got, what, 7 billion people on the planet? More of them are signing up on YouTube all the dang time. We don't have to worry about how we're slicing the tiny pieces of the pie. The pie is growing organically on its own. So let's just help each other, is my feeling. You know, I think the quote was attributed to Reagan, but I think it was actually JFK or someone else who said it first. That was it, a rising tide lifts all boats. So yeah, let's work together. Smiling Sammy. So the text that says Smiling Sam is small and a little hard to read on the profile picture at that resolution. So I'm not sure that text is the way to go there, partly because almost every situation where your profile picture is going to appear, your channel name will appear next to it anyways. So it's almost redundant. So I would consider removing the text, possibly centering the image a little bit more on your face so we can see a little bit more of that smile. It's a very nice smile. And there seems to be something in the background that looks like, was it Stitch from Lilo and Stitch on its side in a blanket or part of a backpack? I don't know what I'm looking at there. So anyways, that's interesting. 68 subscribers, 23 videos. Thank you for checking out my channel. I'm Scottish and I film things. This is the second Scottish person today. I must be broadcasting in a time that's favorable there. Or was this the same Scottish person from chat? I don't know. I'm all over the place. Thank you for checking out my channel. I'm Scottish and I film things. I upload weekly vlogs on Mondays and occasionally. So in terms of trying to figure out why you do, and how you do it, I know a little bit. I know you're Scottish, and I know a little bit about the how, because you upload weekly vlogs on Mondays, and occasionally some sort of other time. That's all I'm getting from the search results display screen here for your channel. So I would recommend completely eliminating "thank you for checking out my channel." For one thing, when people see this in search, they haven't checked out your channel yet. And none of those terms are searchable. Nobody is searching any of those words on YouTube. Sorry to be blunt, but it's just what I believe. And it's sort of been my experience, the data I've looked at. The fact that you're Scottish is interesting, so keep that. You film things. I think that's somewhat obvious because you're on YouTube. So I would say, you know, I'm Scottish and I upload weekly vlogs on Mondays, an occasional bonus, and maybe go from there. But if you can talk a little bit more about what you do, at the beginning of your description is important, because I still don't know really what you do. I know it's a vlog. There are fashion vlogs. There are gaming vlogs. There are travel vlogs. There are vlogs reviewing TV shows. There are vlogs about everything under the sun. There are people that go to Walmart and film it and call it a vlog. You can debate whether or not that's a good description or not. I don't know. One thing I just want to quickly point out about the TubeBuddy thing is I'm currently using the free version of TubeBuddy because I only have the paid version on my Vacation Impossible account that I'm not logged into right now. Which is, I have the legendary over there, which was possibly overkill. But anyways, the free version, it does show me 3 of the most used tags associated with this search, but only 3. If I was logged into my legendary account, I could see 211. So that's just an example. 3 is probably enough, though, for this function, but there's other things, like keyword suggestions, and other things that, like show keyword score. That would show up automatically with the paid version, but the free version, you have to click there, which is interesting. I'm still learning all the differences. There's just so much stuff to TubeBuddy, it's insane. So let's dive into Smilin' Sammy. I like the alliterative name. That's nice. So you have a 12-minute video serving as your channel trailer, but it is the Get to Know Me tag. And this isn't directed at Samantha here at all, but oh my god, this tag thing drives me crazy because tags can mean so many things at this point. Like, tags, I always thought for the longest time meant like keywords, metadata, those sorts of tags, right? I'm gonna tag a metadata, a search term, to this video. But then tag became like a game of tag or like a challenge. So it's like, oh, it's the Get to Know Me tag, the small YouTuber tag, the, I don't know, what's in my bag tag? I don't know if that's a thing, challenge, I don't know. And so for me personally, it drives me bonkers because it's like, why couldn't we use another word? Why do we have to use the same word? Because if we're like, someone will post in the Small YouTubers Facebook group and they're like, can you help me with tags? And I don't know if they need help with keywords or suggestions for video ideas. It could be either. It's just a language thing, a little rant on my part, forgive me, but But anyways, it's a video that's a Get to Know Me video, and that's a good thing for a channel trailer, not bad. I see you've got the watermark enabled there. So you figured that part out. That's good. It's the watermark feels a little big. I think a round version instead of a square version might look a little better, just because like the corners feel a little awkward. And then it would also line up more with your profile picture. But I noticed that in the watermark you don't have the purpley pink text, and I think it does look better that way. But again, I would suggest just centering it on the face a little bit more. My first ever YouTube video. I don't know that that's super helpful. But okay, so it's from 2 months ago. So you've been on YouTube for 2 months. You got 69 subscribers. That's pretty good. It took me like, I don't know, 5-7 years, some nonsense, to get 34 subscribers. I wasn't trying that hard, but still, it's not a bad rate of growth. My first ever video on YouTube. How exciting! I would probably drop the thanks for watching, because again, they could be seeing that before they even click the video. My first ever video on YouTube, I don't know that had value. I'd probably drop that. How exciting, I'd drop that. I answer some get to know me tag questions. That's where I think the description should begin, right at the beginning. Yeah, I answer some. That's where it should, I hope you like it. I'd probably drop that. I think that we should try to speak of ourselves as confidently as possible. And I hope you like that as kind of passive. That's just a writing thing. If you had Grammarly, not sponsored. I don't even use Grammarly. I don't really fully understand it, but I'm sure it would probably underline it, so you would passive voice. If you've liked, commented, or subscribed, it means so much to me. And so again, like I was talking earlier, why does it mean so much to you? Is it an ego play, or is it something deeper? It means so much to me because it helps my video be found by more people. That might flesh it out a little bit. Leave a comment. I'll reply to them all. Also, feel free to add me on my social media channels. So that's good. You could probably flesh that out a bit more, but it's not bad. I like your banner, but the spacing looks a little, I don't know. The space between, on Sammy, the S, the A, and the M, it feels like they're closer together than the other letters. But I wonder if it truncates so that in some, like on maybe on mobile, it looks like Smiling Sam and it cuts there. If it does, that's kind of cool. That'd be nice and fancy. Scottish vlogger, that's cool. So I like it. I'm guessing that the background here, that bridge, maybe it's some famous bridge in Scotland, perhaps. So I like that. I generally rail against people putting social media stuff graphically on their banner because these are not clickable links. That having been said, excuse me, I had food poisoning a couple days ago. I'm still kind of recovering, so bear with me. But I kind of like the way this looks. It's like the splash of color that doesn't quite conform to the circle. I like the look of that. That's cool. So I don't know. Just because that looks cool, I almost say like keep it. But just, you know, my usual rant is you got your Instagram and your Twitter clickable here in the social links. So there we go. So you got uploads, you got popular uploads. That's good. Danny Jones DJing in Campus, Glasgow. I went to high school with somebody named Danny Jones. And I always got him confused with somebody else. Danny McLeod. Yeah. Danny McLeod was on my improv team. He was hilarious. That was genius. He's in a video about eggnog that we filmed in high school that I put on my channel. It's off-brand. It's not really part of travel, but it was one of the first videos that like my group had ever made. So it's like, yeah, I gotta put that up there. I got vlogs, tags. Again, the tag thing. Yeah, the autumn-fall tag, the Christmas tag, the New Year tag. It's a vlogger thing. I'm not a huge fan of vloggers, so don't take my discomfort with the use of the word as it meaning anything. Miscellaneous. That's interesting. What I might consider doing... Yeah, I don't know. It's just that you see here how there's 5 videos horizontally that will display in a playlist, but tags and miscellaneous don't yet have 5 videos. So, not sure what... You maybe just wait until it's flushed out. Maybe just keep it. I don't know. Something to think about. One thing I have to give you points for here, closed captioning. It's not super consistent, and that's fine. Especially, you know, I can understand on, say, a 26-minute video not wanting to... Oh, you did caption that. Respect. I don't think I've captioned anything longer than 16 minutes. I just don't have the patience. But yeah, you've got some captions done here. So that's great. Captioning your video is super important. So basically, when I started captioning videos on my Vacation Impossible channel, I saw an 11% increase in my views, and I was able to directly correspond that to captioning, because you can look at your analytics and it'll show you how many people watch with captions on. So, yeah, captioning your videos, in my experience, it's anywhere between 9 and 11% increase in views. So do it. And a big part of why that's important is because YouTube can hear the words you're saying. And that's actually kind of how you cheat the caption game. Here's the shortcut. Here's the tip, the trick, whatever you want to call it, the hack. Is wait until your video's been auto-captioned and then just click edit. Then just go in and fix where it's wrong. That way you don't have to type out every single word. You just have to make corrections. Publish the corrections. It treats it as if you had typed out every single word. That saves you a whole lot of time, much easier. So that's what I try to do as much as I can get away with. So, yeah, captioning is important because it doesn't always hear you accurately. Some of the auto captions on some of my videos are downright offensive. I'm like, oh my god, we did not say those words. How did we not get demonetized? Like, why did it think we were swearing like sailors when we were talking about, I don't know, whatever. And it's oftentimes very funny. But anyways, so it might have a misunderstanding about what your video is about because the auto caption thought it was a different subject. And if you say a word that also appears in the title, that also appears in the description, that also appears in the tags, that also maybe appears in the comments, whoo baby, keyword alignment, then YouTube, the algorithm is like, wow, that video is absolutely about that thing. It is absolutely about Glasgow or whatever, or Christmas or what have you. And it's like, okay, so people searching this, we'll definitely show it to them, or at least they'll be more likely to. So that's something that's good to keep in mind. And that's why captioning is great. You've got popular channels. I would recommend activating the recommended channels, just because the algorithm likes when you use all the tools, and it helps support the community, and I think people will appreciate that. And with a third of YouTube being vloggers, there's got to be some out there that you admire or watch yourself. And for those of you who don't have it activated and you don't know channels to recommend, this might not apply great here. I don't know, there's Glasgow, so maybe you could do Glasgow Tourism if there's an official channel, or the Glasgow Science Centre, you could put that. But gamers, if you don't know channels that you want to put up there in your recommended, put the publisher of the games you play. You know, if you're playing GTA, put Rockstar. There you go. That's if you're struggling to find someone that you think should be there. I got some playlists. Oh, hey, you liked one of my channel reviews. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It helps other people find them. Let's see. Let's look at the channelytics here. So you don't have any channel tags. I highly, highly recommend that you go and add those. It'll help your channel show up in search results. Let me just refresh this here. You see, TubeBuddy's not perfect. You got to do this little thing over here. It's a little tedious, but when it works, it gives you great info. So you don't seem to have any channel tags. So, you know, your channel name at least should be in there. Vlog, Glasgow maybe, Scottish vlogger. Those could all be good, some keywords that you put in there. If there's vloggers that you admire, you download the free TubeBuddy thing, link in the description, and you can go look at their channels, click on Channelytics, and see what channel tags they're using. And so long as it's accurate to you, don't just put their channel name in there. That's not good. That's misrepresenting. But if they have a tag, a keyword, see how this gets confusing? If they have a keyword, a channel keyword that is like, oh, wait, I totally do that. That would be a great one. There's a copy to button. It'll copy it directly to your clipboard. You can put it in Notepad. You can just paste it directly onto your channel keywords yourself, whatever you want to do. So I would recommend doing that. That is leaving money on the table. That is an easy win for you. Just go in and put in some stuff. For long tail keywords, put them in quotation marks so that you can have multiple words as a single tag keyword. Highly recommend that. Not a lot of work. We never know how beneficial these things are, so let's just try everything is my advice. So let's see what's going on here. So you've had some subscriber growth since mid-January. That's not nothing. Looks like your views are doing better. They're a little up and down, but they're more than before. And then, well, we're probably going to see some videos published. Yeah, video published on the 16th, and then another on the 23rd. So again, I think that those videos are driving subscriptions and views, and those are good things. More videos of that type is not a bad idea, or just videos at all. Oh, that's funny. I always talk to people about never do more than one video a day, but I apparently did 2 videos this day on this channel. This is the Small YouTubers Boost channel I'm logged in as, though. So that's what it's comparing it to, not my Vacation Impossible channel, which I honestly put more of my effort into it. It's my first love. It's, you know, on YouTube. So I try to be a bit more careful with that. Whereas here on Small YouTubers Boost, we're a little bit more experimental, which is kind of nice. I like being able to just sit here and talk about whatever. Just looking here. So you've got your social media things here, but those are not clickable. And since you've got it up here in your social links, that's clickable. And you have it down below in links, that's clickable. I would remove the social media from here. I'm Samantha. I'm in my 20s, live in Scotland, which is in the UK. I love all things Disney, Harry Potter, movies in Orlando. Move that up. Move that up. It should be, I'm a Scottish vlogger that loves Disney, Harry Potter, movies, and Orlando. Put that at the very beginning. So that in the search term, now I know what you do. And that would be great. Okay, so the banner was made by someone else, and you credit them. That's good. And the person who took the photo, that's cool. And so the thing that is missing here for me, I get the what of what you do. I get a little bit of a sense of the how you're doing it. I don't understand why you're doing it. I mean, you're clearly, there's love. You love things. You love Disney, Harry Potter, these things. You want to share the love with other people, presumably so they get more enjoyment out of it, or so that they feel like they're not alone, that there's somebody else out there like them that they can talk to and appreciate. Maybe start a conversation, something like that. That wouldn't be bad. So, but why? You know, again, you've made 23 videos. That took time and effort. What motivated you to put that time and effort in? What is the why? What do you want to change? What do you want to be different from how it is today? Because, I mean, that's why we put effort into anything. You clean your house because you want it to be more clean, and you don't want to get sick, and you want to have space to operate, or whatever. You know, you go to work to earn money so that you can buy Disney things and go to Disney and travel, or whatever. Like, what's the why that drives you to make that effort? And, like, when you sit back and you think about something you've done on YouTube that makes you feel good, for whatever reason, maybe you got a lot of views and subscribers, but maybe it's like, I like, there's comments I get sometimes on my travel channel that are just mind-blowing for me, where they're like, wow, I didn't even know this existed. I'm going to go check it out in a couple of months. I've booked my cruise because of your video. Love that. That's great. Or, you know, people like, oh, I've never traveled. Isn't it expensive? And I'm like, well, it depends on your definition of expensive. Let me show you how cheaply you can do it. And so those few times, and they're kind of rare, but like that is special moments for me, because that's really what it's all about. My personal backstory, I grew up in poverty, and through education, I was able to break the cycle of poverty within my family. And a lot of my friends at the same time were going through a very similar experience. And so we grew up having never traveled. And we grew up prioritizing our spending in a very particular way because we didn't have a huge disposable income. But as we broke the cycle of poverty and we were starting to generate a little bit of wealth and savings, I wanted to see the world. And they did not necessarily, I mean, some of them got it right away, but a lot of them didn't see the value in it. They were like, well, no, I need to save more money, or it's not practical, or things like that. I believe, Stephen Merchant said it, and he's probably quoting someone else, but he says, travel broadens the mind. I completely agree with that. When you go somewhere and see something different and you come home, you have a fresh perspective on your life, you might have new ideas, you've seen a new way of living, a new way of interacting with people, new foods. And so you introduce, and it's these great, I think, growth moments for people sometimes. Even if it's just, you know, they say a change is as good as a break. And so being in a different place can sometimes give you perspective. Maybe your problems aren't as bad as they sound or they feel, or maybe you've got a good idea about how to solve them, or maybe just getting a break from them is just what you needed. And so I really, 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 if you can't tell, believe in the value of travel. And so when I hear somebody has tried something new or traveled for the first time, that is just amazing to me. And they say like, oh, I watched your video, I went and tried it, it was great. Like that's worth all the effort. You know, I love being, you know, monetized and subscribers and views and all that kind of stuff. But for me, you know, the real why, the hit for me, the thing that you know, I get juiced over is when I see stuff like that. And there's other kind of cool stuff too, amazing coincidences. Like just recently, I have a video on my Vacation Possible channel of break dancers on the Carnival Dream cruise ship. And one of the breakdance, and I posted this like a year ago, one of the dancers found the video like yesterday, the day before, Friday, I think, and was commenting. It was like, wow, thanks for posting this. Glad you had a good time. It's really cool to see it from this perspective, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. My most popular video of James Darren, his granddaughter found the video, and this was years ago, and she commented, she's like, that's my granddad. I've never seen him on stage before. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Like, I was able to show her something about her grandfather that she hadn't seen or appreciated before. She's like, I'm going to go ask if I can go to one of his shows. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, I don't know him, you know, he's super famous and stuff, but it's got to be to any grandparent a touching moment if your granddaughter came and said, hey, Grandpa, I saw I saw part of your show on YouTube. I'd love to come see you live. Like, that's got to be a great moment. And so the fact that I might have had anything to do with that is just astonishing. You know, and so that means far more to me than the view counts and the other stuff, which are also nice, but they just don't compare. They pale in comparison. And what really upset me is when they integrated Google Plus with YouTube, they wiped out all the old comments. And so that comment I never got a screen capture of. I went on archive.org, the Wayback Machine, to try and see if I could get an old screenshot, and it's just gone. It is just gone. I don't have the email where I was notified. And so I'm kind of sad about that, because that was like one of the coolest things that ever happened on my channel. And because of stupid Google and Alphabet and blah, 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 it's gone forever. But that's okay. I remember it, and I know it happened, and my family saw it, my friends saw it, and they were like, wow, that's awesome. So, you know, it's stuff like that. What is your equivalent moment to something like that on YouTube? Because that is the stuff that you can't measure and you can't quantify. But man, does that thinking about that gets me up in the morning and be like, I'm going to put up another video today, because who knows what it's going to do. But hopefully it'll be something positive. Even if I'm showing people like, hey, this hotel sucks, you know, maybe I'm going to save them from having a bad experience, and then they have a better experience somewhere else. And you're never going to know the positive benefits of everything you put out there. So you got to take some of it on faith. I think to be a YouTuber, you got to be a little crazy, and you just got to own it. Just own you're crazy. Let's see here. Let's go see what's going on with chat. People talking about free tools. Yeah, the free tool on TubeBuddy is good. That's what I'm using now. People are talking about jams. Yeah. Ray, you're... Oh, it scrolled. What was that saying? Somebody was talking about me. I want to know. It said Ray, you're something. Where did that go? I don't like that the chat here like sometimes scrolls and sometimes doesn't auto scroll. Dang it. Can you search chat? Can I control F this thing? Ooh, I think I can. Wait, hold on. It's freezing. No matches found. What did I hallucinate? Yeah, whatever. I could just be totally like egocentric and search all instances of my own name. Oh, and there's a guy in chat also named Ray. Maybe they were talking about the other Ray. Oh, yeah, that was the you're very fit on the create not hate. That's what it was. Review me next, buddy. Okay, looks like some people want some reviews. Where are you living? I'm in Vancouver, west coast of Canada, North America. Somebody's saying they hate America. Well, you know, and hate Americans. Dude, that's not what we're here for. So, like, let's keep it on topic. Let's try to keep the politics out of the chat, guys. We are here for YouTube. And supporting each other on YouTube. Atlee Arts, you asked for a channel review. I don't think I've... Yeah, I think that one is up next. So let's take a look. Hopefully people behave themselves in chat. I don't want to have to learn how to kick people out of chat today. I don't want that to be my thing that I learned today. Let's keep it positive. Okay, so Atlee Arts. It's got that logo. It's nice. It's prominent. It's clear. Good color scheme. Atlee Arts is an independent film company that produces short films and movie edits. That's interesting. One challenge I face in the Small YouTubers Facebook group is people sometimes will think that a description will be like, it's a film. And I'm like, I can't approve this because everything on film is a film. Potentially, right? Like, is it motion picture? Is it a feature length film? I mean, you know, or like what? So short films and movie edits. If there's a genre that you're particularly well known in, or there's a particular thing that you've done, putting that really early on would be somewhat helpful, because there can be films of all kinds. There can be adult films and sport films and all sorts of stuff. And so I think being a little bit more descriptive there is good. But you got your what here, and I think some of your how very good. 74 videos, 1.3K subscribers. Uh, okay. So this is a little interesting from my initial impression. So the description here was that it's an independent film company. But then I go in and I see short film by Atlee Bowles over and over again. And so what I'm thinking is like, is this a company or is this a person representing themselves as a company? So that makes me wonder a little bit. You have some edits here, which is interesting. Unofficial teaser trailer. Oh, you know who I miss? He's probably still around. There was this guy named Mike Realm. He was like a DJ editor guy. He would take like a trailer for a movie and edit it into like an EDM song, and it was awesome and funny. And he would often open for Blue Man Group. And so, anyways, his stuff is, I haven't checked him out in a while, but he was cool. So if you're doing something like that, that's awesome. Because I'm seeing like trailer mashups here. I like this. You got this If series, like if Frozen was a horror movie. If Cars 3, it seems to be like all of them are if horror movie. So there's definitely a theme there, but that's kind of a cool idea. Because yeah, like you could go black and white, but even just changing the color treatment a bit, like the tone or whatever, you go from warm to cool, can very much change the feeling of a scene in a movie, and changing the music a little bit or the sound effects or the pitch makes a huge difference. And so I think playing with that is a cool idea. That's interesting to me. I kind of want to like come back and watch some of this, although I haven't seen any of, well, I did see Lilo and Stitch. I do remember I saw that, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, for example, I support the Mario Marathon charity event, which is every summer in Indianapolis. We play Mario games to raise money for children's hospitals through Child's Play charity. And so this year, it was a shorter event because of just life commitments by the organizers. So what they did was they only did a weekend, where it's normally a full week. And it was really short notice. So what I did here in Vancouver, because I'm part of the team, kind of like, you know, the Canadian representative, I created a teaser trailer for the Mario Marathon. And so I threw it together over the course of a weekend. It was a lot of fun to film. A couple of my friends helped me out. We really got into it, and I haven't had a shoot like that in ever. And it was awesome when like everyone's coming together and they all like they buy into the vision and they're having fun and they're doing things they haven't done before, and that is just a blast. So we put it together, and so it was probably May or June. I think it was June when we were doing this. And yeah, I think it was June. And so one of the things I was spoofing the Force Awakens trailer. And so there's the moment where Kylo Ren is walking in the snow and then he activates his lightsaber. And we were trying to recreate that moment from the trailer. So what we did is we went to Central Park in Burnaby here in Greater Vancouver, and I got an amiibo of Bowser, and I was kind of making it like it was walking, and we were shooting it from behind. And we tried to get the forest, but hopefully with no people walking in the park. It took a lot of takes it looked like 19 takes before we could finally get it where nobody was in the shot. And then I like did this cheap little animated lightsaber thing. I'm really, really proud of it. But what I had to do was, how do I make summer look like winter? It's bright, it's green, it's lush, it's lovely. And I needed it to look like it was basically ready for snow if it hadn't already snowed. How do you do that? And so changing the color, the color saturation and all the different effects in terms of just the color grading, and shifting it to blue and dark and shadows as much as possible, that the final product, I was struggling with it. It wasn't looking great, and I was like, I'm gonna try one more thing. It was like gamma correction or something, I forget what it was, and it just suddenly all came together, and I was like, it works. Save it, render it, don't touch anything. But the effect was great. And then like I was at the Mario Marathon, and the guys there, they had seen it and they were like, wow, that was an amazing trailer. I'm like, thanks, that meant so much to me because I really respect those guys. And they were like, you know, how did you get that winter scene? Did you already have that? Did you film that in the winter, or did you drive up the mountain where it was snowy or something? And I was like, I shot that in a park on a sunny day in the summer. I shot that 2 weeks ago. And they're like, wow. And I was like, that was such a cool moment. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this kind of stuff. That's awesome. I'm curious if any of this stuff, have you gotten like content ID matches or any copyright claims because of any of it? I hope you don't. I mean, what you're doing seems transformative, so fair use would seem to apply, but I'm just kind of curious as a YouTube guy. I just am wondering about stuff like that from time to time. I like your banner. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't tell me a lot, but it's a very clean design. I'm wondering if in your profile you might want to have the orange and the green so that it lines up. Maybe not. I don't know. Just a thought. I see here you've got Instagram, Facebook. That Facebook URL needs some tidying up because it ends with /ref equals bookmarks. So you should probably take that out of the URL. And you know what? Actually, let's just go there. Let's take a look. Just want to see kind of how this... So it is a page, but it's got this number in it. Do you have a custom URL? Oh, that's somebody else. Okay, I see how that's a challenge. Okay. I wonder if there's a shorter custom URL you could have. @LeeArts YouTube or something. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay. So, but anyways, at least take off that bookmarks thing from the link. That way it's just a little bit shorter, a little bit cleaner. And let's see. Twitter looks pretty good. And you got Teespring. So that's cool. Let's Chanalytics this thing. I'm having way more time for this than I thought I would. This is awesome. Like, how long have we been going? It's nearly 2 hours. Cool. That's awesome. I'll probably cap it around the 2-hour mark again. Just because, you know, don't want to totally burn out. And, you know, it's Sunday. I got laundry to do. The glamorous life of the guy that runs a Facebook group with 64,000 members. You know, got to spend my day doing laundry. I took a break from laundry to do this. Okay, so no channel tags. So great opportunity here. You can put, you know, arts, edits. And you know what you might want to do? Here's a thought. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Why not? I was talking about Mike Realm earlier. Let's see. Let's go to Mike Realm's channel. See, this is the guy I was talking about. 214,000 subscribers. Cool guy, right? What I wonder, look at this. Okay, remix, mashup, trailer, meme, movies, action, geek, nerd, comic, horror, and Disney. You don't want Mike Realm, but you could take the rest of those quite potentially and use those tags on your channel. You just click copy to here if you have TubeBuddy. You gotta get TubeBuddy. And again, this is the free version. This costs you nothing. The link below. Download the TubeBuddy browser plugin. Go to Mike Realm or somebody else's page. Copy the channel tags. Go into your settings for your channels under Advanced in Creator Studio. Paste them. Delete the part that says Mike Realm. Replace that with your name and any other changes that you think are appropriate. And there you go. Channel tags. Just that easy. Set it and forget it. Do it once. But who knows how helpful that will be for your channel. Wait, hold on. I got to check this Chanalytics thing. What? What? Small YouTubers Boost got more subscribers than Mike Realm in the last 30 days. Am I reading this right? Like, I want to come back and look at how Vacation Impossible stacks up. Hot damn. I mean, you know, he's crushing the views. But I've been the one uploading the content. See, that's crazy. I mean, this guy has 21 million views, 200,000 subscribers, and yet, on current subscriber growth, I've got double what he's got on my second channel. Don't tell me small YouTubers don't have a shot. I don't buy that. Come on. You just gotta get smart about it. Gotta get smart about it. That's what I think it is. Okay, so anyways, subscriber growth has been relatively steady on your channel here. Okay, so you had strong views towards the end of the year. Were there videos? There weren't. So, as I suggested with some other channels, is it tentpole? Is it the fact that people had extra days off work? Or did you get all these views because of what? Ask yourself that. Go into your analytics. Narrow it down to like those 3 days, plus or minus like a day as well. Look at like the 5-day trend, because it doesn't look like there were a lot of views after, and then like there was a decent amount at the end of the year. So look at the last 5 days of the year. Go into traffic sources and see where these people came from. If your video was shared on a message board that you don't know about, go create an account and engage with your audience and share appropriately. Follow the rules, but maybe go make some friends over there. Not a bad idea. Grow a community. Maybe you shared something on Reddit. Okay, maybe you should share in that subreddit again sometime. not too much, but as appropriate. Sorry, headphone users, I hit the microphone again. Maybe you tweeted. Maybe you always tweet, but you used a special hashtag that day. Become Sherlock Holmes, become an investigator, become a forensic accountant for your channel, and be like, why did I get for 3 days almost like plus or minus 1 view? That's odd. That's statistically, I don't know. But anyways, like 674 views, 675 views, 675 views. Let's game that out. Let's say that you were able to maintain that for a year. That would be 250,000 views. And I mean, you already have 800,000 views, but compare it to the sort of hovering around 300 that you had for the rest of the 4-week period. That's double the views. So I would investigate, would be my advice there. And again, yeah, the channel tags, that could be a very quick win for you. Independent film company that produces short films and movie edits. What if Disney was a horror film series? I don't know if you could call it that, something. You know, you could mention that. Again, the thing that I'm not seeing here, and this happens to the most successful professional companies in the world to a degree sometimes, is the why. Why do you do this? Is this your form of expressing yourself? Is this to give people a reason to laugh that might not have many reasons to laugh? Or whatever. Spread joy in the universe. Whatever it is. What makes you do it? And don't tell me it's money. Money is another how. Money is a method to do something else. And so if you can find your why, you know, go watch some Simon Sinek videos, get his book, you know, whatever. Or just sit and ask yourself, why do I do this? And then when you get the answer, ask, why is it that? Why is that? Why is that? Ask that 5 times. See what you get. Because it took time. I've been doing Vacation Impossible from one way or another since 2001. And I think I figured out our why, I don't know, over the last few months, really. I mean, I've been able to articulate that I want people to travel more. And so probably within the last 2 or 3 years, I've been able to say that. But like, I'm trying to distill it down even further because I want to make a channel trailer that's about my why. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to do that for both my channels. And so I've broken it down to like 3 statements, 3 short sentences. I believe that travel is good. I believe that more travel is better. I believe that more well-informed travel is better travel. That's why I'm there. And I used to say that it was like, people should travel more. I want to show you new places to go and cheaper ways to do it. That's still true, but that's a lot more of the how, less of the why. The first part was part of the why, but cheaper and different places, that's a how, that's not the why. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little obsessed with why, but it's just, it resonates with me. And I think that, you know, it's not the end all and be all. You still need the what and the how. But for me, it's the piece that I see missing a lot. And it's just a piece that, yeah, like I said, it can mean a lot to me when I'm looking at things to subscribe to. So, just going to take a look in at chat before we kind of wrap things up. Oh, I didn't see the SNL. It's almost midnight and you're working tomorrow. You know, you can watch this. You don't have to stay up. And I'm saying this now at the end, so it's totally useless to you. But for live streams, you can watch them after the fact. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm sorry you're sacrificing your sleep to be with us. But I'm honored that you are. Thank you. That means a lot. I'm glad you appreciate the bluntness. I just don't have time or energy to lie. Oh, the accent. Right, okay. For the auto captioning. Yeah, that can be problematic. Okay, the Russian dude that hated America is gone. Was that a bot? Was that a Russian bot? Was that the GRU? Yeah, all right. The Internet Institute, whatever the hell they were called? Cambridge Analytica, some other thing? I don't know. The person you're reviewing is not here. Okay. Well, that's the thing, is they can come back and watch it. So you can watch the old live streams, all 26 of them, and soon to be 27. I believe this will become rewatchable about 20 minutes after the broadcast ends, so you can go back and watch whatever part you like. So that's probably about it for me. So because I am Vacation Impossible, I try to end these live streams with a mission, a challenge to you. small YouTubers out there on the internet verse. So here it is. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to download TubeBuddy if you don't have it. Even the free version, doesn't matter. I want you to go look at a channel in your niche and look at their channel tags. Just it. That's it. Just go look at them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you want to necessarily copy steal them, try to compete with them or whatever, but just as an awareness piece. Look at somebody who's maybe a little, maybe a lot more successful in your niche, maybe the top performer in your genre or whatever. Go look at their channel tags and just see what's there. That's the whole challenge. Just go look at it. If it prompts you to make a change or do something, so much the better. But right now, just go and take that moment. It shouldn't take you long at all. You install the thing and you go look at it and you see what someone who's successful is doing. And if you see that they have none or they are bad, then there's an opportunity where you can do better and have a competitive advantage. So that's your mission if you choose to accept it. Go look at the channel tags for another channel using the TubeBuddy tool. Thank you very much. Obviously, it's time for me to end the show. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so with notifications turned on. My next live stream that I have planned is Friday, February 1st. It'll probably be from around 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, but these, like today and yesterday, was a surprise. I didn't even know I was going to do it before a couple hours beforehand. So get the notifications on. Thank you, Sammy. I like the support. Yeah, get sleep if it's right for your time zone to get sleep. I'm going to do laundry, you know, like the party animal that I am. But anyways, yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have notifications on, then you can find out when these live streams activate, especially if it's a surprise, and then you'll be able to get in chat nice and early. I can review your channel, answer your question, look at your video tags, or do a tutorial, whatever you want. So thank you very much. Good luck with the challenge, and this live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.